When you first start a project like this, you have no idea how huge a role technology plays, and I had no idea that I'd be using such an extensive amount of technology. For example, if you start off with the hardware I used, I think something I had to get used to the most was the use of an iMac. I'd been used to Microsoft Windows software and hardware all my life, so I had to get used to controls and new software and different processes such as exporting your videos, and the iMac was helpful with all of this because it does process like these really simply, and it also helped me when it came to blogging and editing. The iMac allowed me to add transitions to my video to emphasise change of location, and also when it came to editing, it allowed me to keep up with continuity. It allows you to look at your video in really close detail, and also when it comes to sound effects too. For example, with in my first shot with the train passing, I continue that sound onto the next shot, something which I wouldn't have been able to do without the iMac and its software. Another piece of hardware that I used was the Canon FS100 camera. It's really easy to draw shots during the pre-production phase, but when it comes to filming it becomes so much more complex. Filming with the camera makes you think about every aspect of every shot, be it lighting, continuity, sound, the shot type. For example, the camera helped me to achieve emotion with close-ups, something which my audience really liked. And all of these effects were enhanced by the use of a tripod, another piece of hardware I used, and this makes a huge difference. Knowing that every shot will be steady takes a great weight off of your shoulders and allows you to concentrate on other things, like I mentioned before, such as continuity, lighting, other aspects of mise-en-scène. As far as software is concerned, this was all pretty much on the iMacs. I think what I used the most was probably iMovie and Final Cut. These programs both help me to understand the energy it takes and the difficulties that come up during editing processes. And so as well as learning the physical aspects of them, such as cutting clips and adding effect, it helped me to understand the importance of editing, such as timing clips and sound right, ensuring that continuity is there between every change of shot, matching audio levels so that the sound sounds like one consistent stream. All things like that I learned through iMovie and Final Cut. LiveType was also really helpful as well. It's probably my second most used software. This is helpful for timing titles and adding effects to them which would otherwise take ages to create. I think it was particularly helpful when it came to making production cards simply and effectively. It sort of like stopped the whole production from being held up just trying to create effective production cards. I mentioned before that I had been blogging throughout this. When we were first told to blog about all the different aspects of this, be it research and pre-production and production, it seemed like a bit of an inconvenience to have to blog about every trivial thing, but by the time you get to the end of the project it turns out to be really helpful. Not only does it allow you to track your progress, but it serves quite a lot of other functions. For example, it keeps all your research in one easily accessible place. It also allows you to look back and see how to do things again should you need to. For example, when I refilmed, I looked back to refamiliarise myself with things such as production schedules and importance of timing every shot, different things like that. And it was also really helpful during the audience feedback process. I could just direct my whole audience to just one website with the video and questions waiting for them, rather than having to physically go around to everyone and asking laborious questions over and over again. And obviously I think it's going to be helpful to the question 7 in the evaluation when we have to give an overall evaluation of the whole coursework so far. And finally, another website that was really helpful was YouTube. Once we completed our videos, we exported them and uploaded them to YouTube, and it is really helpful if you quickly needed to see a certain part of your production or show it to someone during the audience feedback process, and for uploading to the blog it makes videos a lot more simpler. So yeah, YouTube played quite a big role in my production.